Essay number 7. Fishing grounds in the high altitudes. The importance of the Northern Hemisphere in fishing can be explained by the fact that it is a land hemisphere with a large population and with a great length of indented coastline providing many harbors. Moreover, fish are more plentiful in certain areas than in others because of the availability of plankton. The reasons for the concentration of fishing grounds in the high latitudes may be outlined as follows. I. Supply of plankton. Plankton is a collective term for the millions of microscopically small organisms which are found in seawater. Phytoplankton are tiny plant organisms drifting about in the water at or near the surface. They form the food of the zooplankton, microscopic animals, which are in turn devoured by other sea creatures such as fish. The fish are in turn eaten by larger fish and sea mammals, such as seals and whales. The most important conditions for the presence of plankton are A. Shallow waters. Phytoplankton at the base of the food pyramid depend on sunlight for their existence, so they can only develop properly in shallow seas. The best fishing grounds are thus located above continental shelves which are not more than 200 meters (660 feet) below the water surface, where plankton of all kinds are most abundant. The world's most extensive continental shelves are located in high or mid-latitudes in the Northern Hemisphere, for example the Banks off Newfoundland, the North Sea and continental shelf off NW Europe, the Sea of Japan. These areas have other advantages for plankton development besides shallow water. B. Cool waters. Plankton thrive best in cold or cool waters. Thus they are plentiful in polar waters, at the meeting of cold and warm ocean currents as on the Newfoundland Banks and the Sea of Japan, or where cold water from the ocean floor wells up to the surface as it does off the west coast of South America. The continental shelves of the tropics are relatively less rich in plankton because the water is warm. C. Land-derived minerals. Plankton are nourished by mineral salts and other material brought from the land by rivers or ice. They are therefore most plentiful in coastal waters where such materials are most abundant. 2. Cool climate. It has been found that marine life is best developed in oceans with a temperature lower than 20 degrees C, 68 degrees F. Tropical waters are too warm and the fish species are generally of less commercial value. The cool waters of the temperate latitudes are more suited to marine life, and the most valuable fish, like cod, plaice, herring, haddock, mackerel, sole and salmon are found there. Furthermore, fish cannot be kept long in hot, moist tropical conditions and tend to deteriorate rapidly. In temperate lands the cold winters originally provided natural ice for preserving the fish. Refrigeration and canning have now made both temperate and tropical fishing less susceptible to the hazards of climate, but in many parts of the tropics, ice factories and other facilities are still lacking. 3. Physical and environmental influences. Both the Atlantic and Pacific coastlines of the middle and high latitudes in the Northern Hemisphere are very much indented and are backed by strong relief. There are sheltered inlets and estuarine coasts that make ideal sites for fishing ports and villages. Some of the greatest fishing ports of the world include Grimsby, Reykjavik, Bergen, Stavanger, Boston, St. John's, Newfoundland, Hakodate, Tianjin, Tientsin. The rugged mountains and the short growing season in Norway, Hokkaido, Iceland, Alaska and other areas restrict agricultural activities and people take to the sea to enrich their diet. Norway's arable land accounts for only 3% of its total area, and that of Newfoundland is not even 1%. Fishing and shipbuilding have thus become major occupations. The temperate forests, providing both soft and hardwoods for the construction of fishing boats, barrels, and casks as well as pitch for waterproofing were also once decisive factors in the development of the fishing industry. Those areas in the southern hemisphere which might otherwise develop fishing industries are hampered either by lack of harbors, or of labor, for example on the indented but sparsely inhabited coasts of southern Chile. Elsewhere, for example in Argentina and Australia, meat and other foodstuffs are so plentiful that it has not been necessary to develop a fishing industry. 5. Moderate or large population. Fishing has always been a labor-intensive industry and modern equipment has only recently begun to change this situation. Not only fishermen are involved but those who process the catch by cutting, cleaning, salting, smoking, pickling, drying or canning the fish. Small-scale fishing is thus important in well-populated areas such as China and Japan. On board large, modern craft fish can be preserved in salt and ice, so that such vessels can operate off relatively sparsely peopled coasts in the Arctic Ocean or the Northeast Pacific. More important than labor is market. The large population of Europe, North America, China, Japan and the USSR create a continuous demand for fish, and efficient communications enable the fish to be quickly distributed to markets in fresh or processed state. Thank you for watching this video. If you think that this video are useful, please click subscribe my YouTube channel, like, share, comment to see daily uploading. Good luck and have a nice day.